All righty, y'all, you ready for your daily Bible reading? I forgot my little ear thingy, so I'm going to yell at you, okay? I'm going to go on a venture tomorrow. If videotaping is allowed, I'm going to do a video for y'all. I don't know if it's allowed or not, but that's all the information I'm going to give you right now. I think it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I've known about it all week, but didn't know how I was going to be feeling, so I hadn't said anything. And right now, I think I feel all right. So, at least as far as this venture, I don't have to do anything. I'll just sit and ride, and it's 6 hours, so with somebody else doing the riding, and we'll be getting out and walking some too, but mostly riding. With somebody else driving, I think I can handle it. I hope. I don't know. And y'all, I hadn't been to the hospital all week. I haven't had a pain shot all week long. That's a record for the last couple of years, well, no, not that long, for the last 4 or 5 months. Seems like a couple of years. But anyway, I got a big load of dirt hauled in my sinkhole over at the driveway, and I need more. I just ran out of strength, and it's hot out there. It's 99 degrees when I went outside to shovel up that dirt and move it and spread it out. And then I got the truck and back and forth over it 4 or 5 or 6 times to pack it down, and it's packed down pretty good. I got to put some more in there though, because that was a lot of dirt I moved, y'all, but it wasn't enough, so I got to get more. I just didn't feel like doing more today, and that's all I did today except go to the senior citizen center. That's a tongue twister. Senior citizen center, and eat lunch and shoot the breeze for an hour and a half, and then I came back home. That's my day. Pretty boring, but that's it. I'm here, and this chapter 18, is the last chapter of God's wrath. And tomorrow we start with, still in Revelation, the marriage supper of the Lamb tomorrow, and then the millennial reign. Well, there will be an involvement of the beast and the false prophet tomorrow, and then the millennial reign, and then the New Jerusalem, and then the waters and the tree of life. So we're almost finished with the book of Revelation. And y'all, everybody's expecting the rapture next month in September. A lot of people are saying September 23rd, and I haven't even looked at the 23rd. I don't know what the 23rd is or why a lot of people are saying that, but that's what a lot of people are saying. There's videos all over YouTube about September 23rd. I don't know what it's about. I hadn't listened to them. And I'm drinking sparkling water lime. It doesn't have much flavor, not like lemon or grapefruit, but it wets my whistle, so that's all I need. Y'all ready to go? I can't think of anything else to talk about. I'm excited about tomorrow. It's kind of boring sitting in the house all the time. can't think any more redneck rant. I didn't do anything, or not rant, but redneck ramble. I didn't do anything else, y'all. I need to do laundry again soon, maybe tomorrow afternoon. Oh, excuse me. That sparkling water lime made me burp. All right, chapter 18 of Revelation. The desolation of Babylon. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. That sounds just like America to me, what America has become. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sin, and that ye receive not her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. And the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. How much she hath glorified herself, and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord God who judgeth her. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise any more. The merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and of pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all thyine wood and all manner vessels of ivory and all manner vessels of most precious wood and of brass and iron and marble and cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beasts and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and souls of men. And the fruits that thy soul lusted after are departed from thee, and all things which were dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all. The merchants of these things which were made rich by her shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing, and saying, Alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. For in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught. And every shipmaster and all the company in ships and sailors and as many as trade by sea stood afar off, and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, What city is like unto this great city? And they cast dust on their heads, and cried, weeping and wailing, and saying, Alas, alas, that great city wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness. For in 1 hour is she made desolate. Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for God hath avenged you on her. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone, and cast it into the sea, saying, Thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. Nada. It's gone. And the voice of the harpers and musicians, and of pipers and trumpeters, shall be heard no more at all in thee, and no craftsman of whatsoever craft he be shall be found any more in thee, and the sound of a millstone shall be heard no more at all in thee. And the light of the candle shall shine no more at all in thee, and the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by thy sorcerers, by thy sorceries, were all nations deceived. And in her was found the blood of prophets and of saints and of all that were slain upon the earth. Tomorrow's chapter is going to be a good one. Where's my little ribbon? There it is. Alrighty, y'all. That's your daily Bible reading and a tad bit of redneck ramble, because there wasn't a lot going on in my life today. I went to the Senior Citizen Center for lunch. I think I told you all that because I was having trouble saying Senior Citizen Center. But it's kind of boring today. I have such a hard time remembering everybody's name there, and there's not but like 5 or 6 people that goes there, maybe 7. I remember all the names, I just don't remember which person each name goes with. I call this guy Roger and this guy Larry, and it's actually Larry and Roger, such as that. I know the names, I just don't remember which person they go to. Oh, I can't think anything else, y'all. I'm tired and sore after, well, I was sore all day. I'm always sore, but I'm really sore now after shoveling the dirt and filling up the trailer and then emptying the dirt and spreading it out. Oh, and those big chunks of cement I told you about that I was going to dig up and put in that hole and then put dirt on top. They must be huge chunks of cement, because I could just see a piece, about this big, that much square, sticking up out of the dirt. And I thought that was it. I was going to dig it up, but I dug and I dug, and I went that far, and it's still more. I just gave up. So I don't know what the heck used to be out there. Where those big, huge chunks of cement came from, I don't know. I don't know. I got no idea. And there's over on the back of the house, about midway between the front and between the south side and the north side, kind of in the middle over there, there's a bunch of big chunks of cement showing through the dirt. And I don't know what was there either. And I'm always finding stuff, as I'm old. I've found since the last 3 or 4 rains that we had, right consecutive, bam, 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 one right after another, I have found on my driveway, which is dirt, probably 50 or 60 nails and screws. Just walking, hey, there's a nail. A bunch of them. I'm glad I found them before my tires did. But it's been that way ever since I've lived here. Every time it rains, more nails and more screws gets uncovered. And I've not had a flat yet. I hadn't had a flat ever since I moved up here. I don't even remember the last. Yeah, I did just before I moved up here. I had a flat, and I was so crippled up I couldn't change it, and so I called a friend in town, Bubba Davis. He has Davis Tire and Automotive Shop, and he sent a guy out to change it for me. And down there, the state troopers will change a flat for you if you need help. But I didn't bother the state troopers. I called Bubba. Matter of fact, I was on my way to his shop to get a set of new tires for my truck when I had the flat. And he knew I was coming because he had to order the tires, and he called me and said they were in, and so I told him I was on my way, and on my way I had a flat, so he sent somebody out and fixed it. And then I got rid of those tires last year when Nicole insisted that I get snow tires. She was driving my truck a lot for a while, and she said she wasn't going to drive anymore unless I got snow tires on it. So I got snow tires on it, and I think she drove it once or twice since then, and no more. So, but they're good to have. But my other tires wasn't wore out. They still had 50% tread on them. I don't ever hardly go anywhere. This month and last month, I probably didn't put 20 or 30 miles on my truck total. I just don't go anywhere like I used to. Well, tomorrow I am. Yeah, buddy, I'm going to be riding in a truck with a friend for 4, 5, or 6 hours. From 7 to 1. How long is that? That's 6 hours. But it's in his truck and he's driving, so I'll just be riding. And he's going to be working. I'm just going along for the ride. That'll be fun. And I'm not going to tell you what kind of work he does, because that'll be a surprise. I hope it'll be all right for me to take pictures, take a video. But he's self-employed. He works on other people's properties. And since we're not going to be on the highway a lot, but on private property, I don't know if it's okay to take videos. But I'll find out. I'll see y'all in the morning, or not in the morning, tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. I'll see y'all sometime. And something I was thinking about, y'all, you know, the Bible tells us that the rapture's going to happen when nobody expects it. I started to tell y'all this at the beginning of the video, and then when I was talking about September 23rd and all the videos and all the talk about September 23rd, the Bible tells us it's going to happen when nobody expects it. Well, everybody's expecting, or not everybody, because I'm not, but a lot of people are expecting it on September 23rd. So we know it ain't going to happen on September 23rd. But it's going to happen soon. And I think and this is not in prophecy, it's just something I think in my own bald head. I think something major, catastrophic is going to happen to get our mind off of the rapture. We'll be thinking about what just happened instead of the rapture, and bam, the rapture's going to happen. You know, like, well, I started to say Iran's going to fire what do you call it? The bad kind of missiles, the bad kind of bombs, nuclear missile or bomb at America, but they can't do that anymore, so maybe Russia will. I don't know what'll happen. Maybe nothing. But I think something major will happen to get our mind off of the rapture. And then, bam, it'll happen. But I may be wrong. And I think whatever happens, it will pretty much start World War III. But I don't know. That's just, I haven't seen a video on that. I haven't seen anybody talking like that. It's just what I feel in my mind. And there's just all kind of weird reports about Trump. Some really good ones and some really bad ones. And I don't even know what to think anymore, y'all. I know there's a lot of false media out there. And I don't know what's true and what's false anymore. There's so much deception and so many lies. I don't know. I do not know. And Trump, have you looked at him lately? He looks old now. He didn't look old when he got elected this time, but he looks old now. I don't know what's going on, but to me, he's aged 20 or 30 years, the year and a half or whatever he's been in there this go around. I don't know what's going on. Keep your eye on Israel. Keep your eye on Damascus. Keep your eye on Jesus. That's where you need to keep your eye. Keep your eye on Jesus. Don't look to the right nor to the left. Keep your eye focused on Jesus. And that finger won't point straight. See? It won't point straight. Because it got broke. And I didn't get it fixed. I fixed it myself. It was bent crossway. It was sticking out like that. And I just snapped it back in place, but it won't straighten up now. It just kind of hangs over. So when I do that, it ain't pointing like all the rest of them. But keep your eye on Jesus. That's where your eye needs to be focused. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. I'm done, y'all. I'm just flapping my jaw, so I'll let you go. God bless you. I love you all.